Welcome to the Seeking Clear podcast. This is a show about searching for the things that we all want. Better health, better relationships, meaningful and productive work, and clarity about the life that we are living. I am your coach and your host, Andrew Wuellner, and I'm bringing you amazing interviews with incredible people, meaningful stories, and powerful lessons every week, so that you can learn from real experts and teachers about how to fix your life, how to consistently improve yourself, and how you, in your own way, can keep seeking clear. Welcome to the show. Hello and welcome to the first episode of the Seeking Clear podcast with Coach Andrew Wuellner. I am Coach Andrew. I am so glad you guys are here, and this is the very first episode of the show. It is an introductory episode where we are just going to talk a little bit about the podcast, the types of things we're going to be focusing on, what the show is about, and why I decided to make this show. So, the Seeking Clear podcast has been in development for, it's been in conceptual development for most of 2019, so like 8-10 months. I did not actually start working on the podcast and filming episodes until a few weeks ago, because I had some amazing opportunities pop up and I was able to schedule some really, really exciting people for interviews. And I kind of just put myself in a position where I got to get this thing started. Sometimes that's the best way to get new projects started, is to just put your back up against the wall. And even though I'm already really busy right now trying to optimize and grow my new YouTube channel, I'm working on the beta test for the Coaching Conversion Blueprint course. So I'm working with large groups of beta testers, making lessons, spending hours a day working on that. And on top of that, I have a family with 2 babies, and, it's crazy. I did not have time to start a podcast. I did not have time for any of this. But I decided, like I have so many times in the past, that there is no perfect time to start anything. So I jumped out of the frying pan into the fire, started the podcast, and I haven't died. I haven't died yet, and I have 3 of the interviews done already, and today I'm just going to knock out the first 4 episodes of the show, get these things recorded so I can start formatting them, and I'm currently waiting on some musicians I hired to do the theme music and some of the background music, and I'm waiting on some graphic designers who are working on the logos and the formatting, and all of it should be wrapped up quite nicely by the end of this week, and this episode should be ready to drop sometime around the 14th or 15th of October 2019. So we are looking at the middle of October for the launch of the podcast. Now, all of that being said, I will kind of walk you guys through some of the details here, and I will also read off the lineup of episodes so that you guys know what is on the way. But first, I just want to talk about the name. So it took me a long time to settle on a name for the show, and I ended up going with Seeking Clear, because it rolls off the tongue nicely, but it also it's like a metaphor, right? It's an expression of what I have been trying to do for really the last 6 years of my life. And I'm going to go into great detail about my life story, my personal experiences, the difficult moments in my life, the great moments in my life. I'm going to tell you all about me in episode 4. Episode number 4 is going to be a long one, and it's just going to be me telling you basically everything that's happened in my life up to this point, so that if you guys are interested in that and you want some background on me, that episode will be there for you guys to listen to, because I will be interviewing a lot of amazing people on the show, people who've done crazier things than I have, people who've been in worse places than I have, all kinds of people on the show. And I'm going to focus on those people during the interviews. I'm going to be asking them questions, learning about their life, and I may interject occasionally with a thought or an experience, but I'm not really going to be talking about myself during these interviews. So if you want to learn my story, episode 4 is for you guys. It should be revealing and hopefully interesting at the very least for some of you. But seeking clear. The last 6 years of my life have been a roller coaster. And I think one of the hardest things that I've had to do over the course of the last 6 years of my life is just figure out what I wanted, right? It was just figuring out what I wanted. Because I spent my entire adolescence thinking that I wanted something. And when I finally got it, I found out I was wrong. And I had kind of lost touch with who I was and the things that made me unique. And I lost sight of like my soul, right? I was so attached with my ego and my preconceived notions and, the things that I was told that I was, that I had lost my ability to really feel who I was. And so you could say for the last 6 years, I have just been seeking clarity. I have not had a clear mindfulness, a clear thought process for a long time. And even though things have been going really well for a while now, and I feel like I finally understand where I'm going and what I want and who I want to be, and I'm happy with myself for the first time in a long time, it wasn't until about a year ago, really, when I started actually being able to feel my emotions the correct way. I had been in denial for a long time about my anxiety, and I used to claim for a very long time that I was a very rational, scientific person who was very logical, and I always thought that emotions did not have a strong impact on me, but the truth was I was just suppressing those emotions. I am a very emotional person. My father's a very emotional person, and I'm a lot like him in many ways, but I was in denial of that for, several reasons that we won't get into. I was in denial of who I was. I was in denial of my emotions. And so acknowledging that and acknowledging some other things about myself recently gave me clarity. And I finally felt like after all this time, I wasn't seeking my goals. I wasn't seeking success. I wasn't seeking all of the things that I thought I was seeking. I was actually just seeking clarity. I was seeking clearness. And so seeking clear is kind of symbolic because I think that's what a lot of people are actually doing. A lot of people think that they're seeking money, they're seeking success, they're seeking that perfect relationship, they're seeking fame, they're seeking pleasure, hedonism, all of these things that people think that they want. But what people actually really want is not those things, but it is the clarity that those things bring to you. Because when you finally actually get your hands on something that you thought you wanted, you learn something about yourself. And that is actually what brings fulfillment. That's actually what brings clarity to the mind. It's what brings awareness to the self. You don't really know what you want until you have it. And once you have something, you often realize it wasn't what you needed. It was just what you thought you wanted. So seeking clear is the perfect name. And I didn't use seeking clarity. I didn't use seeking clearness or anything like that because being in a dark place, being in a place where you feel like you still need something, feeling like you don't already have all of the things you need, can feel a lot like sitting outside in a snowstorm or a thunderstorm or a foggy, overcast day, or maybe it's dark out and there's no light. And a lot of times it just feels like you're seeking clear weather. It can feel like your life is a storm sometimes, and all you want is clear weather. You want clear thought processes. You want clear vision. You want clear emotions. You want clear communication. You want clear belief systems. A lot of people are always trying to understand life by trying to compartmentalize everything. They're trying to fit everyone into boxes, you know? People obsess over their zodiac sign or their Myers-Briggs personality type and personality tests and this and that, and they want to understand why they're distracted all the time, so they try to say, I have ADHD, and it's almost like people feel as though if you understand the name of your condition, you understand the reason why you have it. And that's just not the truth. There's no such thing as a clear diagnosis. There's no such thing as a clear problem. There's no such thing as a clear intention. Everything in life is really cloudy. It's nuanced. It's complex. There's 1,000 shades of gray between black and white, and people don't like that. People crave simplicity. They crave understanding. And we've come to a point in our society where, for a multitude of reasons that I'm not going to get into, people's attention spans are shorter, and people more than ever have a desire to just feel like they belong to something, because a lot of people are lonely. Loneliness and anxiety and stress and depression and suicide and all of these things are at the highest rates they've been in human history, and they're climbing. And it's because people don't have clarity. People think they have clarity because they believe the lies and the illusions of personality tests and zodiac signs and, you know, mental illness and diseases and all of the things that people just want to feel like they understand themselves, because everything is so unclear, right? So seeking clear is what I think a lot of people are doing. I think it's what we're all doing in one way or another. We're seeking clarity on something. There's something in our life that we don't feel certain about. And it's the murkiness of fear, the darkness of not knowing, that tortures a lot of us. And some of us are in bad places in our lives, and we just want to know what we're doing wrong. We just want to know what we have to change, because people just want a pill that fixes their problems. People just want a magic diet, or they'll scour the internet or Instagram for that one quote from that one guy that's going to solve their problems. It's going to fix their business. It's going to save their marriage. They want that one maxim, the rule, the principle, the one secret that's going to change their life and fix all their problems. And that's just not truth. We are seeking the quick fixes, the easy answers. We want clarity on everything. But the truth is, we will never have those things. We will never have all of the answers. We'll never have that kind of clarity, that kind of foresight. No one possesses that kind of omniscience. And a lot of us are disillusioned about that. But it's not until you understand the fact that you understand nothing that you become clear. And I think the answer that most of us are looking for, unfortunately, some of you might not like this. I didn't like it when I first was introduced to this concept, but the one answer that can actually bring you peace is this. You'll never know it all. You'll never have your answers. You'll never have everything fit into perfect little boxes, neat little categories. You'll never have perfect solutions for all of your problems, and you and your life will never be perfect, ever. You can improve a lot. Believe me, take my word. You can improve a lot. You can make real changes by learning, by not giving up, by confronting your fear, by using practical solutions and ideas and techniques to fix your real life problems. But you will never be perfect. You will never be omniscient. And until you accept that, you will spend the rest of your life seeking clear. There's always going to be clouds in the sky. So that's why I like that name. That's why I picked it. So the purpose of the show, right? My little diatribe is over. And I hope you understand the point that I was trying to get across with all of that. It's just that no one's perfect, but we can all improve, and we can all fix our lives. We can make a lot of progress, but we just have to accept that we're imperfect and then do what we can with the things that we learn. That's really the bottom line. But the purpose of the show and the method that I'm going to use to try to help you guys do these things is I'm going to be bringing you several different types of episodes with several different types of formats. So the show is going to be bringing you information and stories and skills and ideas that are going to inspire you. They're going to help you think differently, open your perspective, challenge the things that you believe, right? I'm going to be bringing you strategies, techniques, skills, ideas that you can choose to try to learn and move forward in your life with. You know, some of the things we talk about on the show are not going to appeal to you, right? I'm going to be talking to a lot of people who say things that I don't necessarily agree with, but that's the point of the show. The point of the show is to bring new ideas to myself and to my listeners, to you guys, that you otherwise might not hear about. I'm going to be bringing all kinds of people and ideas on here, so that you guys can pick and choose the things that really mean something to you. And you can still listen to the things that don't. And even if it doesn't contribute directly to your self-development, it will contribute to your knowledge base, and it will give you different perspectives. So there's going to be 3 formats. And all of this is, you know, the purpose of the show is going to stay linear for the most part. But the formatting and the schedules and the episodes and things of that nature are subject to change slightly throughout time, but I've got the first large portion of the show already drawn out. So for the time being, this is how it's going to be. And there's going to be 3 formats for the episodes. The most common format is going to be guest interviews. So I'm going to be bringing people on the show who have amazing stories, who have unique skills, who have big ideas, people who are problem solvers, teachers, coaches, leaders, entrepreneurs, right? Those kinds of people. I'm going to bring them on the show and I'm going to ask them hard questions. There's going to be a set of questions that I try to ask every guest as long as it's appropriate. And they're going to be questions like, what's your greatest accomplishment? And then we'll dig into that and talk about the story and the background and the steps they took and the problems they encountered. I'll ask them to tell us about the darkest period of their life. What went wrong? What caused the darkness? And how did they escape it? What did they struggle with? We'll talk about mindset. We'll talk about their business if they have one. If they're teachers, we'll talk about what they teach. If they're coaches, we'll talk about who they coach, what kind of problems they solve. We'll talk about their skills. You're going to learn a lot from these people. A lot of practical, technical information, as well as a lot of personal, anecdotal information that can hopefully guide you in your own personal life. The second most common format is going to be a monologue episode, so that will just be me talking about a specific idea or teaching a specific concept. These will range all kinds of topics, the same types of things we'll be talking about during the interviews. How to overcome obstacles and challenges, get through dark times, mindset, routines, habits, goals, relationships, mental health, physical health, emotional health, personal stories and lessons, right? All kinds of things like that. Anything that I think is going to bring you guys tremendous value, I may make a monologue episode about. And lastly, there will be Q&A episodes, so question and answer episodes with me. And these are not going to start appearing for a while, because right now the podcast is in its infancy. The YouTube channel is growing. But when I reach a point where I'm getting enough questions from viewers that I no longer have time to make Ask Coach Andrew videos about all of them on the YouTube channel, I will compile the questions that I don't make videos about, and I will instead answer them during Q&A episodes. And I'll give shorter, more abbreviated answers, but, hopefully answer 5 to 15 questions in an episode. And those will come later on. So those are the 3 formats. And that's really as much as I can tell you about the show and the purpose of the show as it stands right now. This show is not business centered. So I made this show from a place of passion. This is a passion centered podcast. If it was about my business and if I was trying to make money with this podcast, I would be talking about building coaching and consulting businesses. I would be talking about funnels and sales and marketing. But I talk about that stuff enough on the business coaching videos on the channel. I talk about that stuff on Facebook and Instagram all the time, and I talk a lot about that stuff in the Coaching Conversion Blueprint, which is my course that I'm working on. It'll be launching later this year. It's an amazing product. I've had some beta testers go through it, and we're getting some phenomenal feedback. I'm currently running ads to get some more beta testers in it. If you want to learn about business development, entrepreneurship, funnels, marketing, all of that stuff, then buy the course, okay? Leave a comment down below. Let me know you want the course. I'll give you a discount. If you're soon enough, I'll bring you into the beta test, all right? This is not about money right now. This phase of my business is about growth. I want to grow an audience, and I want to find people who can benefit from the skills that I have. So this podcast is based on my passion. And the goal is just to bring people who are interested in self-development, who have problems in their lives that they want to fix, to bring those people into the audience, to create a community and a tribe of people who will support each other and are interested in being open-minded and learning new ideas. And in the age of internet misinformation and loneliness and social media, imposter syndrome, comparison, this and that, and in this messy age we live in of social media, I want to build a genuine community that is focused on personal responsibility, self-development, individual rights, and self-improvement, all of the things that really matter. A strong community is made up of strong individuals. A strong community starts with the individual. Those are the people I'm looking for with this podcast. This means something to me because in my past I struggled tremendously with self-doubt and anxiety and depression and low motivation. And I know what it's like to have a real community of support and to have real role models and teachers and mentors in your life. And so this podcast is just one way for me to give back to the world and pay forward the things that saved me. I was teetering on the cusp of major depression, major anxiety, multiple times. At one point, I was $20,000 in credit card debt. And there are people on the internet who saved me with YouTube channels, podcasts, coaching, videos, books. This is my way of paying that forward. So anyway, the show is not about business. It's not to make money. Occasionally, I will make offers on the show for affiliate products. Right now, I only have 2. I will never promote anything on the show that I do not personally use, that I do not personally believe in, and that I have not personally validated. But occasionally you will hear affiliate promotions. And if you utilize one of my offers, it will support the show. The money goes to the show. It allows me to keep producing content on YouTube, to keep making podcast episodes, helps me put food on the table for my family. And I will always have a way to reward those of you who use my promotions. Lastly, sometimes I will promote my own products and services because if some of you are listening to this show, some of you will be interested in what I have to offer. And if you appreciate the show, you'll hear about my offers at the end of the show. I'm going to do my best not to interrupt any of the podcasts with offers or promotions of any kind. I want this to be a streamlined experience for you guys. But at the end of the show, I might have an offer for my coaching program. And my coaching program has evolved many times. It may evolve again in the future. But as it stands, I am a performance coach for online entrepreneurs. And if you guys are struggling to balance your work life, if you're struggling to stay on top of your business, if you're struggling to get sales and grow your business and find clients and change lives, my coaching program might be just what you're looking for. And so I may talk about that towards the end of the episode. But other than that, I think I've gone through all of my disclaimers. I have moved through everything on this list in front of me, and you guys should have a pretty good understanding of what to expect from these episodes. So with that being said, I'm going to move on to episode number 2, and we're going to talk about how to seek clarity in your life. And I'll talk to you guys in that episode. Take care. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Seeking Clear podcast. I truly hope you enjoyed it. If you enjoyed this podcast and you want more of it, you can watch it on the YouTube channel over at Andrew Wuellner, and you can also listen to it on the major podcasting platforms, anywhere podcasts are found. You can support the channel by subscribing to the YouTube channel, downloading it, sharing it, showing it to your friends. All of that is greatly appreciated. I love the support. It shows me that you guys are getting something from this podcast, and I will continue to do it as long as that is the case. But if subscribing or sharing doesn't feel like enough for you and you want to do more to support the channel, you can go to my website, andrewwuellner.com, and check out what I do, what I offer, see if you might be a good fit for one of my coaching programs or my courses. And you can also go to andrewwuellner.com/resources to see all of my special offers. On this page, I have links that will take you to some of my favorite products and services that I personally use, that I personally love, and I would highly recommend you guys use in your lives to help you improve your quality of life or your quality of business. For example, if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner who sells a service or a product online, you need to be using sales funnels. And if you're using sales funnels, you need to be using ClickFunnels, because ClickFunnels allows you to build the largest number of high quality funnels. You can build websites, membership sites, webinars, VSLs, opt-in pages. All of it's possible, and it integrates with all of your favorite technology, your payment processors, your autoresponders, Zapier, everything. The customer service is second to none, and ClickFunnels has a perfect track record of being an amazing software. In fact, my entire website, andrewwuellner.com, is built on ClickFunnels. So if you want to see what it can do, just look around my website. I've used just about every integration that's possible. But if you go to andrewwuellner.com/resources, you will see a link for a free 14-day trial of ClickFunnels. If you join using my link, it supports me, it supports the channel, and I will also support you by sending you free to download my very best templates from my own marketing campaigns, including webinar funnels, homepage funnels, and opt-in lead generation funnels. I will also give you a free 5 to 10 minute video audit of your website and funnels when they're done. This is normally something I only do with my one-to-one paying clients. But if you use my affiliate link, you build some funnels, you build your website, all you have to do is email me, send me the link. I will see that you are one of my affiliates, and I will check out your branding, your copywriting. I'll look at your funnel, I'll look at your website, and I will film a video and send it back to you and let you know exactly what I think, what you can improve, what I love. And I will do everything I can to support you and your online business, because you guys are supporting me and I appreciate you that much. So please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for sharing, for watching this podcast. Go to andrewwuellner.com/resources to see more ways that you can help support me and improve your own life. And I will see you guys in the next episode of the Seeking Clear podcast. Take care.